Let us look at proposition number 23 of book 5 of Euclid's Elements. The proposition says, if there are three magnitudes and others equal to them in magnitude, which taken 2 and 2 together are in the same ratio, and the proportion of them be perturbed, then they are also in the same ratio x equally. So we have magnitudes A, B, C and D, E, F such that A is to B equal to E is to F. Remember, it is perturbed. B is to C equal to D is to E. Okay. So the first thing we do is draw equimultiples of A, B and D as G, H, K. Then we draw L, M, N as equimultiples of C, E, F. Okay, now let's take it step by step. To prove that A is to C as D is to F, which is what X equally means, that we ignore the in-between magnitudes. Then also the ratio is maintained. We are given that A is to B equal to E is to F. We know B is to C is equal to D is to E. A is to B is equal to G is to H. Why? Because G and H are equimultiples of A and B. Okay? We also know E is to F equal to M is to N. Why? Because M, N are equimultiples of E and F. Here we can say G is to H equal to M is to N. Remember, we have A is to B equal to E is to F. A is to B is G is to H, and E is to F is equal to M is to N. So we take G is to H equal to M is to N. Next, we say that B is to D equal to C is to D. Remember, we already know B is to C equal to D is to E. So we are taking alternate magnitudes. So B is to D is equal to C is to E. Now B is to D equal to H is to K. Why? Because H and K are equimultiples of B and D. See, B is to D equal to C is to D, B is to D equal to H is to K. So we can say H is to K equal to C is to E. But we also know that C is to E is equal to L is to M, because they are equimultiples. L and M are equimultiples of C and E. So, which means that H is to K is equal to L is to M. Or we can say, if we take the alternate terms, alternate magnitudes, we can say H is to L is equal to K is to M. So what does this mean when we look at all these? We already have G is to H equal to M is to N, and now we have H is to L is equal to K is to M. So we have G, H and L and three magnitudes, and we have K, M and N as another set of magnitudes, and these are the proportions that they have. So, which means we can say if G is greater than L, G is to H is to L. So, if G is greater than L, then K would also be greater than N. If G is less than L, K would be less than N. If G is equal to L, then K would also be equal to N. But G and K are equimultiples of A and D, and L and N are equimultiples of C and F. So which means we can say that A is greater than equal to less than C, then D is greater than equal to less than F. And Based on this, we can say A is to C equal to D is to F. So that was proposition number 23 of book 5 of Euclid's Elements. Again, let me remind you, there is a link to a PDF book which describes all these propositions. Download it, refer to it, and if you think somebody else can benefit from it, please do share it. That's it for now. Bye.